Welcome to the Roar of Judah. Our mission is to hear God's voice above the noise of this world. And now, here's your host, Dr. Mike.
Welcome to the very first episode of the Roar of Judah. I'm so glad that you joined us today. And here we know that everybody has a story that declares God's glory. And our intention is to get those stories out. And I'm very excited for our first guest. In Scripture, in the Old Testament, the Bible gives us insight into many different characteristics of God. And one of the insights in Hebrew it gives us is Jehovah Rapha, which means God is our healer. And that same God from the Old Testament is still the God of today. And we got a great story to share with you today. And I'm very excited to introduce to you my friend and a passionate follower of Jesus. And so please welcome with me, Angel Brooks. Hey, Angel.
Hey, Mike. Good morning. How are you today?
Very good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm in the car. It's much colder than it usually is in North Carolina. So I'm keeping warm, and I'm excited to share about what God has done in my life. And I'm so thankful that you even considered sharing my testimony with everyone. And I'm very thankful for you just taking the initiative to lead this podcast.
Awesome. And so one of the things I like to do for the guests is anything you want to share about your family, about yourself, about the ministries you're currently involved in.
Okay. So as you mentioned, I'm Angel. I have a husband, Forrest, and 3 children. One is in high school. One is almost middle school. It's different depending on where we were at in the school district. So 15, 10, and 7. And we have been through such a unique cyclone of a season over the past year and a half. And recently my husband switched jobs and he's currently working in Virginia. We are living in North Carolina, moved away from Du Bois after being there 7 years. And now we are house shopping in Virginia. So we are trusting God in a very, very unique situation. And I'm so excited to see that throughout all the chaos that we've really been so much closer to God. We've been pulled away from our home. We have 2 storage units. You know, we're living with my sister. My husband's living away 5 days a week. And it's still so beautiful to see how evident God's presence is in our life, in every struggle, in every situation. And I'm very hopeful for whatever it is in the next season that he's propelling us to. But we're in a little bit of a unique scenario. The ministry right now is just face-to-face. Right now, my biggest ministry is just with my family, with my children, because we do have churches that we visit. But since we're kind of like gypsies right now, we don't have a steadfast place where we're connected, where we're serving. So my serving is with my family and with my friends. And it's been monumental to see the change in my brother-in-law, and my sister, and their home life after us being with them. My brother-in-law reads his Bible every day. My sister and the baby are singing Christian songs, and just trying to find ways in any way that we can to just be the hands and feet of Jesus wherever we are at.
Good. And I appreciate you sharing that. We definitely miss you in this community, and appreciate you pouring into my son, Judah, and, sharing your passion for Jesus with him and helping him even grow in his own faith and relationship with Christ. And I'm excited to have you because there's a story that you shared on your personal Facebook page that really stuck out to me, and knew that I wanted to have you as my very first guest. I was hoping to share that story again and, maybe talk a little bit about it afterwards. And I'm not going to steal any of the details or thunder, so I'm just going to let you run with it.
Okay. So I had shared a story a couple weeks ago because I was suffering a severe headache, and typically I get migraines, and I'm trying to see doctors and do different things with it. But this was unique. It was different from any headache that I've ever had before. A little bit of my background, I'm an ICU nurse. So when somebody's sick, when something's going on, I'm always assessing it. And with myself, you always tend to think worst case scenarios and kind of work down the levels. It's just the way that our minds think. So I had a migraine, headache, whatever you want to call it. I noticed it was in a different area. And I usually get them so severe that I can't see out of my right eye, but I still have to function. I still have to do all the things. I have to get up, cook the kids breakfast, get them to school, drive them to school. And this was no different. However, it was different. I noticed that it was much more severe. I needed to sleep. My body was exhausted. And I just laid there and I was suffering. And thank God that morning, my brother-in-law was able to take my oldest son to school. And I was laying there and he went to take the other kids to school. And as soon as my sister came in, I said, this is really bad. Something's wrong. I feel like I need to go to the hospital. Because in my mind, you think worst headache of your life. And you're thinking, I'm having a brain bleed. I'm having a stroke. I'm having an aneurysm. There's something going on. I'm healthy. I'm in my 30s. Like I shouldn't have these issues. I shouldn't have headaches in general. But something was significantly wrong. And she said, okay, I'm going to take care of the baby. She has a 1-year-old. We had to drive like an hour to go to a hospital that would be adequate for the treatment. So she was rearranging what she was going to do with the baby. And I was laying in bed and I was just praying, just steadfast praying. Every time that I'd wake up, I'd just be consistently praying, God, please help me through this. Please get rid of this headache. And whatever it is, no matter what it is, I always trust God, even in accepting the worst case scenario of whatever it is that he gives me. I accept it because I trust him so much through every season. And as I'm lying there, my sister came in and she tapped me on my shoulder. And when she tapped me on my shoulder, I turned over a little bit and I immediately noticed a relief of this headache that was going on so strong up here in my head. And I thought about it and I'm going, okay, God, wait, is this a God thing? And I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to rest a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. I feel like I want to rest and see if it goes away more. And my sister then came back in a little bit later and she's like, okay, the baby's going to go over to a friend's house. We can get ready and we can go. And I was like, Autumn, I just really want to rest a little bit longer. I feel like when you came in here and you put your hands on me, when you laid your hands on me, I felt a consistent release of all that pressure. And she looked at me and she was sitting, down towards the end of my feet. And she said, Angel, I never came in this room. And I looked at her and I sat up and it was one of those jaw-dropping experiences where I was like, Autumn, I physically felt her come into that room and touch me. And she said she never came in. When she came in, she sat at the end of the bed and she touched my feet. And I fully know that day when I had that headache, that it was a miraculous healing from God, whether it was an angel or whatever it was. I was touched that day and I was healed because I took everything for my migraines that I would have ever taken. Over-the-counter prescription headache medication, I had taken Celtic salt, I had taken electrolytes, water. I had taken everything that I always take to get rid of my regular migraines. And there was nothing that had helped. And as I sat there in bed and I was sitting there praying, I felt that touch and immediately felt healing from that. And I know fully, wholeheartedly, that was God, that God listens to us, that he hears us, that he is with us. And I trust him. I trust him so much. And that headache was gone and it did not come back. And I have never experienced a headache like that before. And from someone who gets migraines, you would say, okay, well, did you get another headache since then? Have you had more migraines? And I have not had more migraines at all. And it's not that I don't think that I'm not quite sure what God's doing in this, and you might want to just find a way to edit that part out. But God used me that day. God not only used me, but I had something happen that was completely out of my control. I could not control this headache with medication. I could not control this headache with rest. The only thing that controlled that headache that morning was a miraculous healing from God. And God allowed me to have that. And with that, I felt like it was so valuable that I knew in my heart, my discernment, that I needed to share it. And I got on Facebook and I still wasn't feeling 100% my best, but I shared that testimony because it is so important for everyone to see that God is still real. He is alive. He is still working miracles today in everyone. If you seek him, you will find him. If you search for him with all your heart, in the good and the bad, if you open your eyes and you reflect on who God is in your life, I can guarantee that he has touched you, that he has touched someone that you know, that you will see something in your children, in your family, in randomness, just driving down the road. God is alive and he is real. And that day, he reminded me of just how real he is with a physical touch. I have heard him. I have subconsciously heard his wisdom through speaking to me, but I've never physically felt touch. And I know that that day that was 100% God.
That was an awesome story to share, Angel. I really appreciate that. You did a great job. And having such a incredible moment and knowing that, almost God's hands reached down from the heavens and touched you. But like, how has that impacted your life and faith?
So I feel like I've always had a very deep faith. I'm like this with God. I can't make it through a day without him. I truly can't. I am so intertwined that, like I said, with the good, the bad, I am constantly just in connection with him. And for me, it was amazing. But to be honest with you, I felt like it was probably more impactful for my sister to see that I had that miraculous healing because of my faith. And she got to witness that. And she has faith and she has a relationship with God, but she's new to her walk. And for somebody to see and experience that, it's undeniable that God is real. And there's been different things that have just been consistently showing him. There's been different things to where God has consistently been revealing himself to her and to other people. I got to share that story with my children. I want my children to know that God is real. I want my children to see that these things truly happen. And I want them to be on the lookout because God will reveal himself to them. God will give them these things.
Yeah, absolutely. And, rolling into 2026 now, what are your hopes and goals for your faith and relationship with Christ?
So as I mentioned, I'm in a very unique season right now. My husband lost his job after 20 years. It was probably the most unfortunate scenario. They actually trained him to let go of himself in the easiest way to put it. They told him that all non-essential employees would be laid off. He had nothing to worry about. Somebody messaged him and they prayed about it as a family. I was working. I came home and he went and looked at the email and realized that he wasn't CC'd in it. And it was as simple as, in order to align with so-and-so, your position is, no longer needed. And your Zoom meeting is for tomorrow. So within overnight, our life changed. So we didn't really know what to do. We weren't from Du Bois. We were from Ohio. We knew that we weren't going to stay in Du Bois. We knew we didn't want to go back to Ohio. We felt like going to my sister's was best because we loved being at the beach and we thought it'd be great to be with them. But my husband accepted a job traveling in Virginia, and it's been very difficult. We thought it'd be easier to have him commute and be home on weekends, but I feel so strongly that God needs us all to be back together. We all know today that God is trying to separate and destroy families, the family unit, as quickly as he can. And as much as I love being with my sister, I have a community that helps me. It's just so easy when you have a village where, it's effortless, when the women can do things together and not have to even ask on how to do things. And I feel like I have everything handed to me on a silver platter by being in North Carolina. But I know that my heart belongs with my husband and that God is pulling us to Virginia. So we are currently house shopping. We're looking for a home. And I am fully praying and believing. I am believing that God is going to give us a miracle this weekend, that we are going to find a home this weekend, and that we are going to find a place where we can get rooted in a way that we could get rooted that we were never capable of doing before, because we're going to be isolated. And isolation seems so lonely. But sometimes in isolation, just like when Paul was imprisoned, he wrote the most beautiful messages to all the churches. Isolation is not a bad thing if you are seeking Christ and fully trying to develop what it is in you that he is doing through you. So I'm very much so looking forward to this next season of life where God is pulling my family together, where he's going to break generational curses, where he is going to heal things in us and through us with other people. I am looking forward to seeing how God is going to use my marriage and even struggles in my marriage to bring other couples together. And I would love to get back into youth ministry. Being with those kids, there was nothing in the world that ever filled my heart more. I love seeing children passionate and hungry for Christ. It is just the most epically amazing experience seeing kids worshiping God just without any type of retaliation, any type of concerns, any type of, anything. These kids, when you teach them the right way, they have no fear. And when you raise a fearless follower of Christ, they're untouchable. And they're the ones who are going to set ablaze for the rest of the world to see. And I very much so look forward to getting into youth ministry, finding a home, getting established, getting my family together again, possibly getting into some type of program with my husband where we could start mentoring other couples, and just overall seeing the goodness of God pour out from us wherever it is that he has us planted.
Yeah. And I'm sure, from listeners who may come across us, there's going to be some going through their own physical issues, family issues, job loss. And, so you've kind of experienced a lot of that recently. What encouragement, as an ICU nurse, you're doing this all the time. What kind of encouragement would you provide for them?
Jesus. I could only say Jesus, truly, because I'm going to get very vulnerable just because I feel like God allows us to travel through seasons for a reason. And if we don't show our real, raw, transparent self, we're not able to show the goodness of God through it. Our family has just been through turmoil. Before all that, we were through a tremendous episode in life to where I knew something needed to change. And I laid in bed crying out to God to remove us from Du Bois because of what we'd experienced and what we went through. We knew that we couldn't leave because my husband loved his job. We knew that we wanted to leave, but we couldn't. And God provided a way. And it's not the most desirable way. Everything in life changed. But when you're going through hell, just remember, you don't belong there. That God has you. He has called you by your name. You are anointed and appointed. And if you are traveling through a sticky season, you remember that that is not your forever place, that you keep giving God the glory because he is pulling you through it. It's just like that footprints in the sand story. When you're in a place that feels uncomfortable, still praise your way through it. I can't tell you how many times that I have been face down on the floor, bawling my eyes out. I felt isolated and alone. I did not want to go anywhere. I stopped going everywhere because I didn't want to give everybody the same sad story. I didn't want to talk to people. I'm a very open and transparent person. So if somebody sees me and I'm down, I can't sit there and kind of switch moods. I had to get put on antidepressants, which praise God, I'm off of them now. But I was in a very deep, dark place. I don't want to say dark place because dark sounds destitute and dark is not where I allow myself to say that I was. I will say that I was in a very different place where I felt distant from God. And as I even felt distant, I felt numb. And many people will go through struggles, they'll experience that because that's just your trauma response on how you're trying to just make it through. When you feel numb, still praise God, still talk to him. If you have to yell at him, if you have to have conversations with him, just still praise God. God will every single time be there. He is always there. He is always listening, and he will always reveal. I can't tell you how many ways that God has revealed himself. But again, I noticed that he was revealing himself because I was just so deeply seeking him. If you're going to buy a new car and you want a yellow Jeep and you say, I don't see anybody with a yellow Jeep. And all of a sudden you start driving around, you see yellow Jeeps everywhere. It's not that the yellow Jeeps weren't there. It's just that your eyes weren't open. Your eyes were not seeking those yellow Jeeps. But once you start looking for them, you're going to start seeing them everywhere. I see God. I see God speaking directly to me through songs. I see God speaking directly to me through billboards or notes or hearing somebody or seeing somebody in the grocery store and remembering that everybody has their own stuff. that everybody's dealing with stuff. Acknowledge people, notice people, serve people, even in the midst of your hurt, serve. Nothing took away my pain more than helping someone else. Nothing took away my pain more than putting myself out there and helping somebody else. So when you're in a struggle, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, financial, whatever it is, number one, get help. I got help. I was speaking to somebody. I was talking through and processing through my emotions in a non-biased way. It was somebody that I trusted. I sought Christian counsel. I had my Christ-like girlfriends when I was struggling with different things. I made sure that I wanted to go to somebody who was trustworthy, who was going to give me good biblical advice, who wasn't going to steer me away and give me words of wisdom from the world. I had to seek medication treatment to try to help me through a season of my life. And I consistently just trusted God. I woke up every day and decided that today was the day that I was going to serve him. And no matter what it was, I was going to keep focused on that day. Whatever it was that he had for me that day, I was going to keep my eyes on that day, and that I was going to conquer the day, and that I was going to serve him through it. And some days weren't great. Everybody knows that. We all have bad days. But on those bad days, I humbled myself before God. I seek forgiveness, whether it be forgiveness with my children, if I was losing my temper, or my husband, or whatever it is. Go to God, give him the good, the bad, and the ugly, because he sees it anyways, and just simply trust him. Trust him. Allow yourself to feel that relationship with him in a way that you know, just like your good father is there, that you can trust him because he is good and he will always be our comforter.
Thank you so much for those words of wisdom. I'm sure that's going to touch a lot of people and be able to use that and apply it to their own life and grow in their own relationship with Christ. If anybody would like to reach out to you and get a hold of you, is there a way for them to find you?
Yes, I would definitely be open to that. They could reach out to me on social media, through Facebook, through Messenger. They could find me, Angel Brooks. It might be difficult, but you could find me with my photo on there. You see me today. If not, you could reach out to Mike, and he could always get that through you via email.
Absolutely. And definitely in my prayers that you guys find the perfect home, and hopefully a miracle this weekend. But if not, we all know it's just God's timing. And 6 months from now, when you look back, you're going to know exactly God put you in the right place at the right time. And if it's this weekend, awesome. If not, I know you're going to keep your head up and know that God has something even better in store.
I 100% agree with that. I could not agree more.
So great having you, Angel. And thank you so much for sharing your story today.
Thanks so much, Mike. I hope that you have a great day. I hope that you get to enjoy the weather, whatever it looks like there. And I hope that you and Jen and Judah get to enjoy the rest of the holiday break.
Thank you. Your family as well. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Roar of Judah with Dr. Mike. I hope you are inspired and encouraged to grow in your own faith. Please continue to follow us on YouTube at Roar of Judah. Also, your favorite podcast platform, you can find us at Roar of Judah with Dr. Mike. Would also love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to us by email, roarofjudahshow@gmail.com. Also, you can visit us online at www.theroarofjudah.com. On there, I'm a licensed counselor. I'm a psychology professor. There's all kinds of resources to help you, including my Freedom from Anxiety program and my 90-day Freedom from Anxiety devotional book, as well as all kinds of creative clothing and merchandise to help you share your faith. Would also love to hear your story on the website. There's a form you can fill out. Would love to have you as a guest to come on and share your God story as well. So may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May his face shine upon you as you allow your light to shine so others would see your good deeds and worship your Father in heaven. I'm Dr. Mike signing off. Until next time. See ya.